Thank you for your interest in the Analysis NMReady 60 MHz compact benchtop NMR spectrometer.
Two of the most frequently asked questions we get here at Analysis is the spectrometer easy to use, and how quickly can I acquire data from the spectrometer? So to address these concerns today, I'm going to run 4 quick proton NMR spectra, process, save, and then export the data to show you how easily you can incorporate this into your daily workflow. I pre-prepared my samples in standard 5mm NMR tubes using deuterated solvent. Deuterated solvents are recommended, as is pretty typical with NMR, but they're not absolutely required for the use of good data. The first sample I'm going to run is a 0.5 molar solution of diethyl phthalate in deuterated chloroform. The NMR spectrometer comes with pretty standard acquisition parameters preset. So once you put the sample in, no need for the use of air or depth gauges. You can put the sample in until you feel it click, and then you hit go. So typically I would use the touch screen as I just showed you, but to make this a little bit easier to see, I'm going to use a mouse for the rest of my processing. The instrument performs an automatic receiver gain and then displays the spectrum. So you have some visualization options from here. You can make it full screen, you can put on a grid, but I'm going to go ahead and just go straight to processing. So first I'm going to start by phasing. I can either use these green sliders and drag them, or I can choose coarse and fine adjustments and click in the light green bar for a little bit finer control of my phasing process. So when I'm happy with my phase, I'm going to click just automatic, just do a quick baseline correction, and then I'm going to move forward to integration. So you can use either an automatic threshold, which gives you just a very quick integration, or you can set up the regions yourself. So I'm going to click manual add, and I'm just going to select the areas that I'm interested in integrating. So this is just a rough to get you started with your integral region, but they're very easy to edit as well. If I select the edit button, I can jump back and forth between my integrals, and then I use these for fine adjustments to accept the bounds of each integral. So this is diethyl phthalate. I have 2 methyl groups, so I'm going to set this reference to 6. I get an integration of 6 to 4 to 3.8, which is approximately the 6 to 4 to 4 that I would expect. So if you want to do quantitative, get a more accurate integration, you would choose a longer scan delay than I have, so you can have more of the aromatic protons relax. And when I'm happy with what that looks like, I'm just going to save it directly to the unit. It automatically defaults to the date, and I can put in whatever name I would like and hit enter. Okay, so that's our first sample done. All right, so the next sample that I'm going to run is isopropanol and D2O. Again, no use of air or depth gauges. I can put the sample directly into the spectrometer until it catches. I'm going to use the same spectral acquisition parameters, except that instead of being in chloroform, I'm in D2O, and I want my chemical shifts to be referenced accordingly. So I'm going to go to solvent, select D2O before I hit go. Again, we're at about a 4-second scan. It's going to do an automatic receiver gain and show you our scan, and then I can go ahead and do the processing directly on board. But our files are all standard JDX formats and compatible with most third-party processing software as well. I can turn to course adjustment, go a little bit faster, and then I can go in for my final adjustments at the end. Then I'm going to go to baseline, do an automatic. I'm happy with what my baseline looks like as well as my peak, so I'm going to avoid apodization and zero fill, and then just go directly to my integration. It pulls up the ones I had last time, so I'm just going to start by deleting all and then adding the regions of interest here. So I'm going to pick my hydroxyl group, my methine, as well as my methyl groups. Okay. Again, it's very easy to sort of fix the bounds that you've set up. If you don't like the way that you set the boundaries, I can extend them or diminish them as I need on both bounds. Okay, again, I have 2 methyl groups, so I'm going to go ahead and set the reference to 6. So they integrate approximately 6 to 1 to 1. I'm going to save them locally again, and I'll show you how to export them at the end of this demonstration. Okay. Everything you save to the unit gets put up into this results folder here, and again, I'll show you that at the end of the demonstration. I'm going to go ahead and run my last sample. It's a 0.5 molar solution of ibuprofen in chloroform. So I'm going to go ahead and change my solvent back to chloroform. Because I have a carboxylic acid, I want to extend the spectral width a little bit, so I'm going to go into settings, and I'm going to choose a wider sweep width. So I'm going to go into custom, select the value that I'd like. I'm going to leave it at 2K points, 1 second scan delay, but I might go ahead and add 4 scans. And I'm going to change my spectral center, the transmit frequency, over, so I've got a little bit more baseline on each side of my spectrum, and then I'm going to hit go. So it's showing me my first scan. It'll run the additional 3, and we'll show those as well, so you can see the effect of signal averaging. Okay, so I'm going to go in and phase it a little bit on a fine adjustment. So a few clicks here in the green gets me a nice phase, and then I can baseline correct it. So the signal to noise here is pretty good, but I just want to show you this additional feature where you can add more scans. If I click on the button, say I want to run 2 more scans, you can do that very simply, and you'll see a little bit of improvement in the signal to noise ratio. Okay, so now I'm just, like I've done before, I'm going to baseline correct and go in and integrate my peaks. So I'm going to use again my mouse just to give me the rough integration here that I can then tidy up using a little bit more fine control with the buttons. Okay. So it's a little bit hard to see in here, so I'm going to use my view. I'm going to zoom in on the alkyl region so they space out a little bit, maybe give them a little bit more height. And I'm going to go over and just make sure I'm happy with what my integrals look like. There, of course, is a little bit of overlap here, so the integrals don't look the best. But I can still get pretty accurate integrations from them anyway. So I'm going to pull in my tail here, extend this tail, and again, this is 2 methyl groups, so I'm going to integrate them to 6. So they integrate 6 to 3 to the next methyl group, approximately 1 for both of the methynes, and 2 for the methylene. Okay, so I'm going to save this locally as well. So everything you've saved to the spectrometer gets put into this results folder. So it's very easy for you to use a network folder or a USB key. Go into the results, everything's saved by the day. You can select the files that we ran. They're highlighted here, and I can export them directly to the USB key and process them on my third-party software. And then before I finish, I just want to show one thing. So you may have noticed that I'm using this sample warmer as my tube holder. We do that because it extends the life of the optimal shims of the spectrometer, but you can easily run things that are at room temperature with no problem. So this is again the same ibuprofen solution, just at room temperature, and I'll just run a quick spectrum so you can see that there's no effect on the line shape when not using the sample warmer directly. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you for your interest in the NMReady 60 spectrometer. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us.
For more information on the NMReady 60 Benchtop NMR spectrometer, please visit our website, follow us on Twitter or LinkedIn, or call our toll-free number.